What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Paco Luciano back with another video reacting to some AFL history by who? My boy Kayleen. Remember, if you are an American and you're watching this video and you want to be educated on the AFL, go watch Kayleen's videos. He has some very simple 10 to 20, even some hour videos that can explain the AFL history, some of the rules, some of the worst calls, some of the worst teams, some of the best teams in AFL history. It's over a 200-year period. Go watch his videos. And don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe if you like all of the reactions. There will be reaction videos all year long, and there will also be sports commentary videos to watch as well up on this channel. Right now I'm just taking time, to learn the history of the AFL before I choose my favorite team to support for the 2026 season and before the 2026 season starts. And without further ado, y'all already know what I like to say. I ain't gonna waste y'all time. We finna get right into the video. Boom. Carlton and Hawthorn, the worst season in AFL history. The COVID season, obviously.
One thing AFL fans love about our game is that not much changes. You can expect 23 rounds, 20-minute quarters, and daytime September grand finals at the MCG, year in, year out. But of the 126 AFL seasons that have been played, there's one that completely stands out from the rest. One
the
that brought
COVID
with
season.
It bizarre rule changes, a league shutdown, and worst of all, a horrendous grand final. This is the devastating story of the 2020 AFL season, one that no AFL fan will ever forget.
Not even one that they should ever want, fuck you mean.
AFL fans knew that the upcoming season would be horribly impacted by the pandemic running rampant in Australia. But just how badly
they even
it would
had
be
the
impacted,
pandemic in
no
Australia?
one saw coming. Just one round into the season, AFL CEO Gillon McLachlan shut down the AFL entirely for an unknown period of time to slow down the spread of the virus. Not knowing that his decision would cause a never-ending list of issues for clubs, fans and players alike.
Pay cuts.
The AFL was sent into the biggest financial crisis the game had ever seen. With no revenue from tickets or TV advertisers, how could the AFL possibly afford to pay its players? 1 week after the announced shutdown, McLachlan came up with a solution. He proposed a 50% salary cut, which players reluctantly agreed to. Hawthorn legend Lee Matthews declared he had lost all respect for the 2020 playing group after they agreed to the pay cut. While Richmond great Jack Ringwalt
niggas
was
just
more
want to play the game of
understanding.
we just want to play that game of footy. What the fuck you gotta lose respect for me for? I'm just here, bro. This is just my day job, bro. I just want to get back to doing my day job so I can make some money on.
Arguing that the players had a massive role to take on. But players weren't the only ones affected by the AFL's lack of revenue. Geelong two-time premiership coach Chris Scott felt it necessary to go without his entire 2020 salary to help Geelong's financial situation, as it was the least he could do for a club that has been so good to him.
Coach.
Saddest of all, up to 80% of staff from every club had to be stood down. And not just ordinary jobs like help desk or customer support. I'm talking strength and conditioning staff, football bosses, and even assistant coaches.
Damn.
People that would have a hard time finding another job.
Rule changes?
The AFL introduced new rule changes that completely changed how the game was played. The most problematic of these was reducing the length of quarters from 20 minutes to just 16. The shorter quarters created extremely low-scoring games, removing the many last-minute goals that teams tend to score during 20-minute quarters. In no other AFL season are teams regularly scoring only 30 to 40 points each week, like they were in the 2020 season. Even that year's premier Richmond was held to just 30 points on multiple occasions.
Damn, that shit's weak.
Winning them a game over Sydney, who scored a measly 26 points, further proving just how low scoring the 2020 season was.
Damn,
the season was
that's hella low scoring.
Just 18 rounds, and obviously less rounds means less footy. To say fans were completely and utterly disappointed would be an understatement. The AFL wasn't the only league impacted by the 2020 pandemic.
The AFLW, of course.
That year's AFLW season was cancelled entirely, midway through the final series, with no premiere awarded. Fremantle were robbed of a likely premiership.
How you just gonna stop my season in the middle, though? What the fuck is that? What type of shit is that, bro? Like, what the hell? We want to play for a championship too, brother. Don't just let the men play for one. We want to play for one too. What the hell?
They went undefeated for the entire season and dominated the finals, beating Gold Coast by 70 points in the semi-final to claim the biggest finals win in AFLW history. Fremantle captain Cara Antonio says it felt like her heart was ripped out when she realised the AFLW season had been cancelled, robbing Fremantle of their first real shot at Premiership glory.
Nah, for real, bro. They definitely robbed them at they shot at Premiership glory.
All club training was suspended immediately for all 18 AFL teams. 16 Adelaide Crows players received one-match bans for accidentally breaching this protocol.
One-match ban?
A sign that the AFL was taking the virus
bro,
very seriously.
How you gonna give me a one-match ban, bro? And this shit is new for all of us. This is new for everybody. Why am I getting a one-match ban? What the fuck? Just give me a warning and tell me to try my best. Try harder next time.
Players were eventually allowed to train in May, 1 month before the AFL season eventually resumed. And the scoreline of that round showed just how rusty AFL teams were, with Collingwood and Richmond's 36 apiece draw the finest example of this.
36 apiece? Chapter 6, Gold Coast Hub.
When the 2020 season recommenced, players from pretty much every club were eventually forced into isolation hubs on the Gold Coast, known to us ordinary folks as luxury golf resorts. But I guess luxury resorts weren't good enough, because Richmond players Sydney Stack and Callum Coleman-Jones were fined $75,000 for leaving their designated establishment.
Damn!
After they were involved in a brutal street fight in the heart of the Gold Coast at Surfers Paradise.
Damn, they scrapping out there though. At least they out there scrapping. Throw your hands then.
Attendance at AFL games hit all-time lows. Only 6,000 people per match. No crowd meant no atmosphere, completely ruining the viewing experience for TV viewers. The AFL tried to solve this with fake crowd noise, but that failed miserably.
With fake crowd noise? You can never get away with no fake fucking. You can never get away with nothing fake, nothing after somebody experienced something in real time, because it's just never gonna hit the fucking same. Okay, it's just not gonna hit the same.
Combined with the low scoring, the AFL began to get really boring, and I found myself gradually beginning to forget about the 2020 season.
Grand Final.
That was until the 2020 AFL Grand Final, because coming into the series, I had false hope that the Grand Final would be played at the MCG, even if the last game played there had been all the way back in round 5. But of course, the venue chosen for that year's Grand Final was the Gabba. A stadium that could only fit 42,000 people, made worse
42,000 ain't bad.
Only letting 30,000 people in
Queensland
to watch the
government.
biggest game of the year. And to make it even worse, the Grand Final was played at night. And while Eddie Maguire was celebrating, happy that Channel 7 would attract more viewers,
Channel 7, okay.
Fuming. The best part about Grand Final day is hanging out with your family or mates, throwing on a barbecue, devouring some snacks, and watching a great game of footy.
Throwing on the barbie.
A backyard kick at half time thrown somewhere in there. It's the match day experience that makes Grand Finals great. Something that the AFL ruined. More devastation would come in the actual Grand Final.
It's always the government and always some crazy shit ruining the damn game. Oh my god.
Symbol of the broken season, that was the 2020 AFL season.
Oh my god. Bro broke his shoulder. Oh, in the Grand Final. Yeah, bro. I just think COVID was a rough time. COVID was a rough year to 2 years for everybody. You feel what I'm saying? COVID was just bad, bro. COVID ruined everything. COVID ruined basketball, football. It probably ruined cricket. It ruined tennis. It ruined everything. Even sports that you don't even... It ruined swimming. I'd be damned if I swim in anybody dirty ass water and this nigga coughing, sniffling it and got that virus, corona bug in the water. Man, all of that. Then you had the people wear masks up. Some didn't want to wear masks. It was just a bunch of everything going on. And again, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe if you like these reaction videos. If you love watching me react to the history of the AFL and learning things about the AFL. And I will be choosing my favorite team soon. And I will be doing watch parties this year. So be on the lookout for watch parties and things like that. Comment down below a website or anything that I can use for the internationally, for the States, for the United States of America, that I can watch or stream with you guys as a watch party.